What's going on, you guys? I'm a local pro reacting to the DGLO. This is going to be round 3, 2025. I'm going to give you guys my personal insights and commentary on the round, and I just want to see how pros just shred this course. So I'm 970 rated, so I'm not the worst ever, but I'm definitely not the best. Now, I did try to qualify for this event. I was 4 strokes short. 2 people on my card. One was 990 plus rated, one was 980 plus rated. And I beat them by 4 and 5 strokes. So I didn't do too bad, but I didn't make the cut. Anyways, let's check it out. Starting with hole 1. This hole is basically one that you should get. This is one of the only par 3s that's like, it's pretty gettable. Now there's OB. Really, the OB shouldn't be a play for most people. Maybe on the camera it looks like it's pretty narrow, but honestly, you can throw a sidearm out there, a backhand turnover. This one you expect like 80-90% of players to get at the pro level, local or pro tour, for sure. This is not one that you should be getting like a 4 on, and I got a 4 in my qualifier round.
4 up by the...
Okay, so this is some other card. This is not one of the ones we're actually watching, but super good drive. Okay, let's skip ahead to our card. So we have Calvin going first, and now he's going, oh, he is going sidearm. Okay, so it's pretty windy. I actually remember it was pretty windy the other day, so this totally makes sense. Very windy. This is like the only time you can expect an OB, but he threw a very overstable disc. That's probably pretty far away. That's like 55 feet. So if they make that, that is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. That's like 55, 60 feet into an elevated basket with OB behind it in the wind. I'm very excited to see what Calvin does on the putting green. I would be laying up, just to let you know. I think me and a ton of other people would be laying up unless it's like a playoff hole. Okay, we got Paul Macbeth. He's going force, so this is obviously forehand.
Impressive.
He threw backhand in the first round. I only watched a little bit of the first round, but he's been playing very well so far from, I can see from the score. Oh, barely in bounds. Okay. By the way, Calvin was minus 18. Paul is minus 16. This is after 2 rounds of playing. Keep in mind, my best practice round was like a minus 3. And I think what won the qualifier was like a minus 4. So the fact that like they're doing more than twice as good as most of us is pretty good. So Gannon-Burr, almost a slightly human score. But this is like minus 7 or better than the first 2 rounds, which is pretty ridiculous. I bet you that's like 1060 rated. Okay, so Gannon-Burr's throwing a sidearm. Now he's... I don't know for sure, but that yellow disc he has... Is he throwing the yellow disc? Yellow...
Interesting thing to be...
So that's like an understable disc. Oh, he throws it really high, though. Look how much it's flipping. Okay, is it going to hook in?
Is that a no?
Yeah, that's fine. So, I don't know everyone's bag all that well, but I know for a fact that disc that he threw is like the flippy one. I saw him throw a little bit in round 1 in the coverage. Then we got Niklas. Niklas, what's he throwing here? I got no clue.
But there is a little bit, at least at the top of the hill.
I hope it's an overstable S-line DD3. You see the wind actually pushing right to left here. So like I said, this hole I expect a couple of birdies. No one should get a 4 unless you go OB. Or you're very nervous on the first hole and it's 8 a.m. But these guys are playing at like 3, 4 p.m. I feel like, you know, cold hands, those things like that. Oh, and he's very unlucky.
His doesn't.
Okay, that's a huge mistake. It's so easy not to go too far right on this hole. Okay, Calvin is like 55, remember, 55, 60 feet away in the wind, elevated basket. If he makes this, that's ridiculous. That's so crazy. You guys have no idea. Okay, you would never run that in a million years. It's windy. That's crazy. They're that confident. I mean, okay, it's not impossible to make that. But keep in mind, like, it's so easy to go past it. Now, Niklas, this putt is a little less scary. This has to go in for 3. Get it. No.
Save par from...
No. And now you have to putt again. And it's elevated basket. That's like worst case. Okay, Gannon-Burr. How far away is he? Let's see. Let's see if it shows his perspective. So he is like... By the way, this is probably... It's outside circle, so 35, 40 feet. Ouch. Stay in bounds. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It
fine.
doesn't-
He can. That's pretty close now. That's like a tap-in. That's like 15 feet. That's like 10 feet, 5 feet.
So long.
Okay, Paul's drive is really good. He better make this. This is for free. He misses Paul. No.
Oh, Paul.
Okay, like when that happens on this course, you have to make it. I mean, anything in circle 1 for birdie is like you must make it. If it's weird because this course makes you so tired. You're so tired on this course. You're hiking up these hills. This is probably one of the only courses I've played where it's like, you know, being physically tired is actually part of it. For sure. So it's like you need to make all your circle 1 putts. Circle 2, yes, that would be like, you know, where the real pros shine. They're making these circle 2s. But if you're able to make all your circle 1 putts, you're doing pretty darn well. Okay, now we've got hole 2. Okay, it's going to the standard pin because they got a new pin position.
Yes. 200-foot putter throw from that bucket up to that one. But you could probably putt.
Okay, so let me just tell you guys, this hole is so hard to get. I have never actually seen a 3 in person. I think a chance for a very long chance at 3 is fine. I've seen people get like decently far up, but here's the problem. The angles in being accurate is so hard. So it's hard to see. My face cam's actually a little bit in the way. Where this tree stuff is, it's not like you can just throw it as hard as you want. If you're going to throw backhand for big distance, it has to be out to the left, and it has to be high, but it has to be turning over, but it can't be turning over too much. So I think the best play, like in general, unless you can really throw like 550 consistently and up the hill, is like just throw it like low. Don't throw high, don't go over, but it's gonna be crazy because I imagine this is gonna be good. So this is like, it's so great. Like you have no idea how good that actually is. That's crazy. And he's actually so far, if you've ever played the short tees here, that's like a little bit ahead of where, a little bit short of where a drive from the short tee gets. He can actually get all the way to the top for sure. So Paul is trying to do the same thing, which is also crazy. Like they just have the height perfect. The angle is perfect. A little bit shorter than Calvin's, it looks like, but that is some sort of chance to the top. I think Calvin's is going to be like possibly mid-range or less to the bucket. Okay, Gannon Burr, are they going to all do the same thing? Okay, so Gannon's is the worst so far, but it's probably going to be fine. Yep, totally fine. I know it doesn't seem very hard because they're throwing it so well, but the margin of error here is so small. It's really easy to throw really hard. I've seen a lot of people throw left up here, and then it just doesn't turn over. It goes left, and I've seen tons of people go right. It's easy to go short right. Like I said, I feel like you could throw fairway and just be in the middle and totally fine.
Celebrity.
Yeah.
So this is that newer DD3, the Q line. They put like more weight in the rim or something. So Niklas, it looks like a perfect shot. That's so crazy. All of them had an amazing shot. Like that's the standard. They just have to have an abnormally amazing drive. Now I'm curious to see if Niklas can get to the top. If Paul can get to the top. They're pretty far out.
I should.
Okay, so he is like a little bit short of I'm able to throw like a mid-range into the bucket. I think he's probably only like 370 away, but obviously very uphill.
To say what he said.
So this drive was super good, but I think he's on a pretty severe
still
upslope.
caught
So
me
the
off.
footing's going to be hard. But I think distance-wise, it's very doable. So all of them are in a great spot. Okay. Does it get out?
Over. If this can get on hyzer, it can sneak to the circle.
Wow.
And it
That's
does.
No
like
sneak in there.
15
Well,
feet?
I guess it was a little sneaky.
It was pretty sneaky.
15, 20 feet? That's crazy. Absolutely
Plus
crazy.
for the fill-in.
Okay, I assume all of them are going to get this.
Or the anti.
Now keep in mind, I have never seen a 3 in person. I've played
This
this course many,
also
many
needs to get a
times.
little sneaky.
I've never seen a 3 in
Going to the
person.
side.
It's a lot harder than it looks here.
Those are sneaky.
This looks like a very gettable, doable one, but I think in terms of
Not
scoring
from
in general... Okay, Paul is very far up. So from here, you can throw like
very
putter.
easily doesn't get around that.
You can
tree
throw
and
putter, you can throw mid-range. He's probably throwing
it's
mid-range.
better
This
than
is a
this.
stable
Tell you
mid-range.
that much.
Little bit. He has to... Oh, that's like as bad as it could possibly be.
Well,
he
maybe
has to
that's an
actually putt now.
opportunity to get a wake me up putt.
That's like 25 feet, but behind the tree.
Shooting this on one.
Now Calvin, he's throwing mid-range, but he could throw putter.
In mid-range, it is, Paul. You called it.
He's not throwing it very hard, is he? Little flex. Not just needs to
Which I think
fall.
it's mid.
Wow, that's so good.
Very nice.
Yeah, when you're down there, the biggest thing is like there's the tree on the right of the basket. You usually can just try to throw at that. It'll be fine. Does Paul make this? Okay. That's huge because he missed on the first hole. Wow, is this going to be star birdie? Okay, we don't need to watch all the putts in detail. Okay. Star birdie is actually crazy on that hole. You guys have really no idea unless you've played it. They probably threw 450, but with the perfect angle and perfect control. That's probably what it took. So think of like your most controlled putter shot, but think of it with like a distance driver and it's spot on. Like that's what it, requires. Okay, now we got hole 3. This one's really tricky because there's OB left and OB right. You can see stakes. I mean, it's hard to see. But there's OB the whole way. By the way, this looks like it's shot very early in the morning. The grass is wet. It's cold, and if it's windy at all, it's hard to throw this hole. So I think that the cheat code to this hole is throwing a mid-range or putter. That might seem really weird, but that ensures that you can get the angle super easily. The slower disc, it has a easier time of like holding that angle. This higher speed disc, you have to be very careful of what angle you throw the disc on. So he's throwing it fairway. So he's probably going to throw, flippy. Flippy. It's got to keep flipping. And this is fine. He's throwing it nose down into the ground. That's really all you have to do. Easier said than done. But I think if you do that or throw putter, you can be just throw it in the air basically. I imagine Paul's throwing putter. He's throwing fairway. So Paul is being aggressive here. He's throwing onyx. So is it going to go to the right? He kept it really low. It's going too far right. Oh, he's very lucky. I actually am surprised. Because I think in years past he threw Luna off the tee, which personally, even though it doesn't get as much distance as like a faster disc or even a mid-range would, I think putter is easily the safest. Now, distance driver is the scariest. Because look at this. It's lifting. Now, luckily, this thing is just diving into the ground. He threw it very nose down. But if that had any sort of wind, any headwind, any gust, it's straight OB. Okay, Antila. Niklas. What is he throwing? He's throwing PD, so a 10 speed is a flippy disc though. This is probably out of bounds unless it really starts flipping more. And I can't believe that it flipped that much. He really trusted the flip on this one. Okay, so all of them also made the shot look easy. It's really easy to mess up. In my qualifier round, the 990, 980 plus rated guy, they both threw OB. I didn't. I threw putter off the tee.
Who you think?
But this shot, Paul is probably at least 500 feet away. Okay, he's not even close to making it. Actually, he's OB. Wow. Okay, that's a huge mistake. He didn't turn it. The thing is, it's like 500 feet away, but to clear the hill, I think it's probably like 350, 360 from where he's at. If he clears it, it kind of goes downhill again. So the 500 feet, you only got to throw like 400 something to get like in circle one. I know it sounds kind of odd. Okay, Calvin, this shot looks perfect. Out to the right. He's just giving a little bit. I think he's throwing mid-range again. Yeah, he made that look like the easiest hole ever. In the qualifier, we all bogeyed this. Now, to be fair, like I said, it's 8 a.m. I wasn't warmed up at all. And I didn't even throw out of bounds. I missed my putt, though.
Not a seafood guy myself.
For a
But
par.
only fish sandwiches?
My second shot was bad.
You gotta diversify.
Okay, Gannon throwing a sidearm. This is a bit far away. Had a good bounce. So this is elevated pin. I think this is actually new. It didn't used to be elevated, so this makes the hole a bit harder for sure. The pin is typically like pretty low, and it's not very scary to putt on. Now with elevated pin, oh my god, is it in?
Running this one.
Oh my god. Okay, so that was a. I mean, I think if you're really confident, you can make every single putt. It's not a big deal. But I don't think. Wait, why is he so far away? Did he just rethrow? No, he's just at the bottom of the hill. Okay. That's why he barely threw it.
That's better than he did yesterday with
his
approach.
It just, the way the camera looked, it looked like he's super far away. I feel like on this course, throwing is like your main concern. It's so hard when you get to the putting green because you're going to be so exhausted. If you have your caddy, maybe a little less exhausted because they can just carry all your stuff. Maybe you carry one disc with you. When you're carrying like a bag or pushing a cart or something like that, it's not like it's impossible. Yeah, okay, so like Niklas, why would you want to putt after that? I feel like he wasn't trying to run that second shot, but that's the mistake. Like even the best don't make every single putt. So you don't want to be putting out here. You want your throws to do basically all the talking for you. And then when you have that rare circle one, you just always make it. You might have like one or two around, one circle one for birdie. There's going to be a lot of circle twos, like 50 feet uphill. And if you make those, I would imagine you're like a Pro Tour player. Most of us are going to make like 1 out of 5. They might make 4 out of 5. And that's where the big scores happen. I think a lot of the scores on this course are because of drives and second shots. And then when you have the rare chance to putt, you have to make it. That's why this course is so hard. People, I feel like, don't realize when they watch this, because they probably think, oh, you just throw it as hard as you possibly can on this course. And that might be sort of true for like 1 or 2 holes. But this is actually like very tight fairways and very tight landing zones. So hole 4, this is one of the very gettable holes. A lot of them are just going to throw backhand hyzer. I like to throw inside forehand with that's like a flex, and it flexes out. And it kind of ends up in the same spot as them. So really, it doesn't matter too much on this shot. Just don't go too far like Calvin just did. Otherwise, I mean, he's fighting for 4 now. He might get a par. Depends how far in he is. Oh, so Gannon's doing my play. Just the flex. Yeah, this is all you do. And then it just kind of flexes out. Well, ideally. So he was a little bit low. But even there, he can probably just take a knee, throw a sidearm out to the right, and get up to the basket. You just have to be there or in what Nicholas is about to do. More overstable disc. I don't know if it's far enough. It might hit the pine tree. Oh, so it punches through. It's actually really short. It was short of the pine tree. So that's fine. This hole's not too hard off the tee. You just can't try that hard and then grip lock it. I feel like Calvin was maybe trying too hard. Obviously, it's just a mistake. It's easy to make mistakes. Okay, Paul's shot is like the ideal backhand. This is far enough.
Should be getting back into position.
Yeah, that's fine. From there, I don't like it, but it's probably just a backhand putter turnover or sidearm shot. Calvin is... Sometimes there's like an over-the-top shot. Wow, okay, he's just pitching out. That's probably the smart play, even though you want to be a hero. He is going to lay up for 4 now. That's what happens. It's a very easy hole. I feel like a lot of... for this course is an easy hole. I feel like a lot of players are going to get the birdie here. See, like, even Niklas is probably not going to be that hard. Oh, he might get it too.
Scrambling very well from down there.
I mean, to be fair, that shot was really darn good. But I think most pro players can get a shot up there for putting from where Niklas is. It's not that far. Like, it's probably 240. Even though it's uphill. See, like, Gannon is kind of doing the same thing. That wasn't so good, though. But still, it's fine. It's actually better than Niklas's. I feel like that was, at least from the camera angle, it looked like he didn't flex it as much as he wanted. That was kind of lucky. He got through that pine tree. So Paul has like the putter turnover. And this is typically what you'll see. I mean, it's an easy birdie for most of them. I'm not saying I didn't even get a birdie in the qualifier round here, but this is one of the easier holes on this course for sure. Okay, let's go to the next one, because the next one's a bit trickier than I think years past. By the way, I have a lost disc on this hole if anyone finds it. It's a yellow T-Bird 3. But this one, 480. Now, when we get to the tee, I want to point something out. Okay, you can see the shot like pretty well here. This is like a really good perspective, because this is like if I was standing behind the player right now, you'd be able to see. So the idea is like you can throw the disc really high, see like where my mouse is, but the ceiling is, it's like actually it's not, you don't have much room. And on top of that, this left tree, these trees on the left come in very early. The stuff on the right comes in very early. The fairway is actually very narrow. Once you get past, it starts to open up more, but this initial part basically takes like mid-range and putter out of play unless you're very, very precise. I feel like most players are not going to be throwing a putter here, even though 480 feet way downhill, this is kind of like what you would see most of them throw putter. That's why he's throwing a fairway. He's just going to probably do like a little flex. Now there is OB on the right, way down there and past the basket. So if you throw anything backhand that turns over too much, or I throw sidearm, you can easily go out of bounds because it's just going to pick up speed as it goes down the hill. But this is one of the harder holes for me, in my opinion. So Gannon just messed this up big time. He's probably going to get lucky. Or unlucky, that might be OB. Wow, that's inbounds. Okay, he just lucked out. That was a complete shank. Okay, what is Niklas throwing? He is throwing a mid-range. So, yeah, that's the problem. That's, like, the perfect shot to throw. But there's not much space to throw it, so you have to throw, like, uncomfortably right in the center, right below everything. And I think naturally no one wants to, like, no one would typically throw their shot there. Like, the brain where Niklas threw it is probably the right spot if it was completely open.
Shank job out of it.
It's really, really tough, but on the camera, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they have so much space. So now we've got Paul. I would imagine he's throwing a buzz. That's my guess. Athena. So he's throwing a flex.
And this one is just not quite as committed as Paul wants.
That's fine, though.
What?
Oh my, okay, that's very lucky. His shot was probably the best because he actually hit the line, at least. Okay, Calvin throwing eagle, which makes a lot of sense. He's throwing this green one. I wonder if that's his, instead of the orange. I don't know if maybe he lost the orange. Okay, Flippy. This is kind of like your normal play. That's fine. That's where a lot of people end up. So this is one that I feel like when you're watching it is like, oh, everyone should get a 2 here, you know, if they're on the lead card. This is probably one of the hardest par 3s, like, to park. To get a 2, to get an easy putt. Like I said, the fairway is way tighter than it looks, and to get down the fairway, like, to actually have a perfect shot is a lot to ask. To get down the fairway is very possible. Now, Niklas, I feel like this shot's not very hard. It's almost like a relief. You're like, okay, all I have to do is just throw there. There's a big gap. Yeah, that's perfect. This shot might look harder than it is, but trust me, it's not that bad. You know, it's probably like 280. At most. It's probably like 260, 280, and it's pretty open on that right side. Okay, so Calvin's running this putt. Obviously, he's going crazy right now. Does he make this? Oh, no.
So, if it's on Anheuser.
Okay, so that's pretty good layup. So where is Gannon? So his disc must have bounced back, because the OB is right next to where he is. I'm surprised he didn't go OB. So if he makes this is huge. Okay, complete miss.
I mean, you said
he has to putt again, but of course, that's only like 14 feet. Paul for 2, he has to make this. This is the rare chance. Yeah, so only 1 of 3. So this hole is actually way harder than it seems, even though it's, you know, it's downhill. Distance-wise, it might seem reachable. But trust me when I say, like, the fact that all of them didn't just pull out a putter or mid-range and just, like, park it, basically, I think that speaks volumes, because this hole in distance and downhill is not very hard. It probably only plays, like, 330. I know that seems crazy. It says 480, but it probably plays, like, 330. But it's very narrow, and because it actually is kind of far in distance, you can't just step up there and throw a mid-range like you want. It's got to be very specific. So if you have a stable mid-range that has a lot of glide, that's like the disc that you want. Okay, I don't like these chase card check-ins. But anyways, let's go to this hole. Hole 6. One of the most popular shots on here is the roller. A lot of people throw roller. Now, obviously, the easy play, I think and there's also flex. I think he's throwing roller here. Is he throwing roller or flex? He's throwing roller. This is so risky, and it's so bad. That's terrible. There was not enough angle, not even close. That was more of a throw that couldn't become a roller. The easy shot that I take is just sidearm up there. If you're really going for it, I feel like there's a chance for 2 if you throw roller, which is why all of them are throwing it, because what if you get lucky? On top of that, if you have some sort of roller, like, this looks so good. You might get lucky. Like, that's fine. That's an easy 3. You might get lucky and might have a putt for 2. I think that's the point of the roller. I throw the sidearm just to get up there. I think it's really the easiest shot. So he's just throwing flex. So this is basically where the sidearm ends up.
What's going to happen?
Maybe a little bit farther because it's flexing out. From there, you can easily get a 3-2. I feel like maybe people go too hard on this hole, but also this is a pro tour. This is where, like, people actually hit these crazy shots. Okay, Roadrunner, you expect a roller. He's throwing it very hard, a lot of angle.
All the way to the other side.
And this is a lot of speed. Wow.
Oh,
It's just bouncing
okay.
over everything.
Get to the
Okay, so that's like the best case scenario. Obviously, I think everyone wishes they could get to the other side, to the top. Oh, Paul
Yeah,
got
he's
lucky.
going
This is
big.
way better than I thought. Oh, this might actually get a to the green. Okay. From there, actually, it's not too bad. He probably has an easy shot for 4. 100-foot putt for 3. But yeah, I think Calvin's roller is like the best case scenario. There might be like a miracle one that actually gets all the way to the other side. It's probably unlikely.
And
Really,
you're gonna
you
hit a
could
lot
just
of
do what
like,
Nicholas did. You don't have to try too hard. He threw a 4-speed. It was like a Discmania zone. You can throw a chip sidearm. See, Gannon's pretty far. I wonder if his shot's easy. It looks easy if he's able to do. If this gets
Heiser?
clean. Yeah.
very-
Okay, so he messed it up a little bit, but the fact that he was only like 120 feet away is pretty darn good. Okay, so Paul's actually in a really bad spot. Can he get through? There's definitely gaps through there. Okay, no, that's really bad. And he's gonna probably take a 5. Unless it's a miracle. Oh my god.
Look at this.
I mean, Paul's barely past.
Okay, Calvin gets the easiest 3 possible. He just chips up 100 feet. Okay, Paul kind of has to make this because it's that big of a deal. Oh my god, he actually might.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you do not expect something like that. That's very uphill. Now, I'm not saying it's like physically impossible to make that putt. That is like 70 feet and 30 feet uphill. So he threw it like 100 feet. That was like a 100-foot putt. And is dead on. He made that for bogey. That's a that's a crazy save. Gannon, not too far away, should make this 100% of the time. And he misses. That's a big mistake. That's like the one time. So he's probably, I'm going to guess, 30 feet, 35 feet at most. That's what I'm saying. This course makes you very tired. You're walking up that huge hill just to get to this basket. And then you have to lock in and focus. Maybe you're on the side of the hill, you're slipping, you're like sliding down the hill a little bit. You just got to putt real quick. But those putts, that's the hard part about this course is like it's so much throwing and it's so specific. Like on the next hole, they might not throw distance driver even though it's a far hole. But if you don't make that putt, like you are missing a stroke. You might have 6 birdie attempts assuming you're playing like incredible. Okay, so this one is pretty tricky. I'm just pausing it real quick. There's OB on the right and left. So the OB on the left is actually kind of early. So before you used to be able to just like throw pretty far left and then you'd be okay. Now it's like you pretty much have to be somewhere in the middle.
Changes the out of bounds line.
Yeah.
It's not too hard to get to the top of the hill. Now this is a smoke job. He's way up. Oh, he's just kind of to the top. So I throw sidearm flex here. It's pretty open on the left, and then that ensures I don't go OB left. I could obviously go OB right if it's too nose up.
When they hit the ground.
Calvin is throwing fairway. I think that's probably the smart play because you don't need all that much distance as long as it's... Yeah, oh, he threw it so good. Yeah, it does. It's not that hard to get to the top of the hill. It might seem like it, or if you've played here before, but it's mostly angle control. I think it's only like 3... I mean, I haven't measured it off. It's probably like 330, 350 of like a perfect angle to get there. So he's throwing a flex PD2. I feel like this is a bit too risky, but he's obviously practiced it. That actually ends up short. I'm surprised he didn't kind of go with what Calvin went with, which is like a fairway or like a 9-10 speed. I feel like that's so Paul's throwing 12 speed, but it's really got to flip. That's OB. Unless it hits a tree. That's OB. Wow, it had no skip. I thought that was for sure OB. Okay, the camera made it look like it was going to be OB for sure. So the OB isn't too hard to hit, but also on this second shot, if you hit a tree, it can easily go OB. So it's easy, it's open, but if you're in a weird angle, weird spot, you can easily go OB. That's really good. It's not very far, but if you're off to the left like Paul is, he might have to throw a sidearm or something weird. There's a couple things he could hit. It's a little bit tighter. It's a little bit trickier. He's got to throw it high. It's got to be hyzered.
I give Paul
or faster disc and
kind
skip
of an
up there.
The way he shapes up shot shapes as well.
I think he threw a mid-range. I might be wrong. It's like putter distance, but it's uphill. It's like 220, but very uphill. So unless you're like here, right in the middle, sometimes you do have to go with like a fairway or something weird. I think this is short from Niklas. Yeah. Okay, it's in the circle though. I think it's closer than it looks. That's like maybe 15 feet. These are all really good second shots. This is one of the easier holes on the course. I think a lot of people, a lot of pros get birdie here. Calvin's is fine. Okay, I think we're all going to see birdie. Wait, did he make it? Yeah. Birdie, birdie, birdie. Wait. Nicholas missed. He chained out. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, that's one where I can confidently say it's probably one of the easier ones on the course. Okay, now we have hole 8. This one is actually very easy in my opinion. I think it's, you know, obviously every hole can't be super hard, but it's very... So this is not one you get a 2 on, really. This gap here is pretty open, but the problem is, like, the ground comes up, and then there's, like, the tree here, so you have to throw it high, but you don't want to throw it too high. You don't want to hit the branch. You don't want to throw it into the ground, and you can't go too far right, and you can't go way, way too far left. But you see he's throwing Firebird. You have a lot of space on the left. The play is, like, to get out there, probably like this, maybe a bit of a skip. Okay, that didn't go anywhere. But where he is totally fine. You can throw backhand turnover. It's not all that far. You just have to get through the gap, and definitely do not go right. That's why they're all picking really overstable. This is really good. If you get far enough left, you'll actually have like a straight shot at it instead of having to go really high turnover. You can even throw sidearm or something. So he's throwing 12 speed. I think you really only need like a fairway or mid-range. But of course, you can pick whatever you want. You just have to hit the gap. I throw fairway so I can for sure hit the gap. I usually have chance at 3 on this one, personally. I think this is one of the easier ones, but it's also like, if you're nervous at all, and you're thinking about hitting the gap, that's where you're going to mess up. All these guys hit it. This is like your typical spot for Calvin. This is where I was in the qualifier. I got all the way up there with a mid-range. This is probably like 300-ish, and all you have to do is turn it. It's not that crazy. Now, it's cool to watch. This is probably better than mine. Let's see.
It's just helicoptering.
So, okay, that's a little bit far away. It didn't necessarily get up there, but that's like 35 feet. Also, these guys are way better at putting than I am, so. For him, that's like, oh, it's a tap-in. For me, that's like, I might miss. Okay, Nicholas going sidearm. I feel like this is bad. It's not far enough. Oh, just kidding. It's even better than Calvin's. That's what happens if you go far enough left. You can throw sidearm, which I feel like is a lot easier. You have way more control. You can just throw high and let it come in. You don't have to worry about it coming out or going too straight with the backhand. Gannon going really high. I feel like this is the perfect one. This is under
ceiling. Boom.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the problem with it is it's very like uphill overall. The shot I don't think is very hard no matter where you are. But, you know, you do have to throw it harder than maybe it looks like they're throwing. It's definitely like a pump to get up there. So all of them are, besides Gannon, like they still have to putt. Yeah, see, this is a hard putt. It's straight uphill. It's not very nerve-wracking because, look, it's not an elevated basket. If this is an elevated basket, that would change things, I think. But yeah, it's not an easy putt. Even Calvin missed it. You're very tired at this point. You've been hiking up the hills, and now you got to putt uphill. You got to give it more power. So, like I was saying earlier, when you have those rare chances to get a birdie or par or whatever it is, and it's like this type of thing, you have to hit it. Nicholas is very close. I imagine Gannon is going to tap this in as well. I doubt he's going to miss this. Okay, very easy. Okay, now we're going on to the next hole. Hole 9. Now, hole 9, really good, the problem with this one is that it's basically like you have to have perfect angle, and you still have to throw it hard. It's not downhill enough to where you can throw a putter like 320. Like hole 3, you can throw putter and still get like 450. This one is like, you'll probably end up 80 to 90 feet short if you throw putter. Mid-range, unless you throw really hard, you can't really get all the way there. So this is like, you still have to throw fairway or even distance driver. And depending on what gap you want, you know, you pick and choose. But going early right is bad. Far enough right, and far enough and right, you'll have a putt through the stuff at the basket. Short and right, which is very easy to do if you're throwing sidearm and you don't turn it over like I did. But look, on the left side, it's super open. I throw sidearm flex that tries to go left of this tree and then come back. I feel like that is the safest play. But of course, these guys are all going to throw backhand straight at it. I think if you have 500 to 550 consistently and very good angle control, there's no reason not to throw a straight backhand that turns over a tiny bit, which is what all of them are about to do. So he's throwing FD3. This must be really flippy. Okay, this is bad. This is bad unless it comes back. Yeah, he is in the rough. They didn't show it, but that is you might be in jail over there, and then the hard part is you don't know how far away the basket is. I overshot it when I was over there, and I went way down the hill, so. Okay. 7 speed, Athena. Is it going to turn for him?
Trying.
No, but that's fine. That's so far. That's a putt. Yeah, that's really good. It might not seem like, oh, it was exactly what Paul wanted, but all you have to do is just get it down there. By the way, it's not super easy to throw it that far. Okay, he has an S-line FD3. These must be flippy. Okay, I like this. This is a straight FD3. Oh my gosh. All right, that is an amazing shot. He really knew that disc. That's not your typical FD3 or Firebird. That's like a very straight FD3. Other than the ace from, I think, last year, that's probably the best drive you'll ever see. I think this is kind of like 50% of the card usually birdies it, you know, no matter who you are. It's not the easiest hole. I think if you have the right disc, like even Calvin messed it up. This is kind of where I expected Calvin to park it. That's kind of a very long putt. That's probably 50, 60 feet. I might be wrong. Okay, see where Gannon is? He's just far enough to actually like have a normal throw.
Yeah.
But it's hard because these branches are really in the way. Obviously, if you hit them, it's basically just going to shoot it down. So let's see what happens here. So he barely throws it. Gannon knows better. But now he pays the price of having to putt again. So that's probably the right play. It's better to do that instead of like try to get it all the way there and go right down the hill. Because it's very downhill. It just doesn't seem like it. Okay, Calvin missed. And that was only 45 feet. Yeah. So that sucks because that's one that like I would expect these guys to make every time. Okay, Paul has to make this. This is 100% has to go in. Okay, good. He made what he had. He did what he had to do. Gannon in for par. Good. Niklas too. Yeah, see, 50%. Even the Pro Tour guys get 50%. Okay, moving on to the back nine. Hole 10. So they made this hole a bit harder. There's OB the whole way up. Now, I don't know if you remember in years past, people would sometimes be at this tree on the left, and then they'd have a shot. Really, the hard part is you can't go to the right, so you have to go left. But now there's OB, so it's like you have to go in the middle. So it's definitely trickier than before. Now, this is not the basket we're playing to. There's 2 pin positions. I wonder if this is the new one. Yep. So this pin position's a lot shorter. The other one is probably like 30, 40 feet behind this one. They probably play that for round 2 and probably the final round. But for now, there's this tree in the way that definitely like makes you have to like putt again or can be very troublesome. But this is a lot more reachable. But the tee shot is super, super hard. All of us won OB in the qualifier round. Actually, besides one. One like bounced out. But it's very easy to go OB. And let's see what they end up throwing. I'm actually curious. So this is... Okay, he's throwing his 12 speed. He's really been liking this Captain's Thrasher. But this is the type of hole where, like, if you threw fairway high enough, you don't need too much distance. Okay, this is OB. Oh, he's so lucky. That's lucky. Very lucky for Paul there. That's not what you're looking for at all. So Niklas, what is this? Is this a fairway? Okay, they're all throwing distance driver. But okay, he's got the right idea. This is absolutely perfect. And this one's not so much about... It's crazy because it is distance, but it's like 400. So can you guys throw 400 with like mid-range or fairway uphill? Probably not, so you have to throw distance driver. But it's definitely one of those where... So this is interesting. But it's definitely one of those where you want to throw like something really control. Okay, so Gannon is basically playing like the old hole a long time ago where the pin used to be out to the right. I think this play is... I've never seen this. That's pretty smart because then you know you're not going to go OB if you throw overstable disc. but you could hit the tree and roll out. I don't know. So Calvin's doing the play that I thought all of them were going to do, which is fairway, right up the middle, stable, straight, fairway. This might be OB. It's OB. That sucks. It was so good, too. I mean, to be fair, it's not like he threw it bad. It was, it could be wind. It's windy out there. That was just unlucky. Now, from here, the shot is so hard. I'm going to... probably the worst time to pause it because he's about to throw. But the ceiling is so low, and you have to go so high up to the hill. Like, the only shot is maybe a roller or something. You can't even throw a roller because you have to land it so early. So this shot, let's see what he does. He's just laying up with a putter. That's really what you should do. I was curious how this hole is scoring. I think it's probably the hardest hole in the course and the new added OB. So every single shot has to be good. You can't be in the rough. So is this OB? Oh, that's actually really good. He has a long putt. Okay, the camera made me think it was OB. That's my bad. That was good the whole time. Okay, we got Niklas, fairway driver. Best drive of the bunch. Overstable. Okay, so that is like very rare. That's how I guess it's supposed to be played. You get to the top, then you have a second shot. So Calvin went OB once. It's very easy to go OB multiple times on this hole. Like he did again. He went OB twice. First place, OB twice. This is easily the hardest hole right now, even though the pin placement makes it a little bit easier. Oh my gosh. And Paul, by the way, Paul laid up on his second shot. Imagine that. You lay up and then you have trouble. This hole is not easy. Nicolas made the hole look like very routine. He's putting for 5. Okay, this is like 55 feet uphill. Now he made this on hole 1. Can he do it again? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, great.
So he gets double bogey, which is like, I would think this hole is probably scoring average of 5. Yeah, none of that. Okay, he was putting for 3. That, like, 4 is good. I feel like if you get 5, you're probably tied with the field. If you get a 4, you're one above. And if you get the magic 3, you just, like, walked away with basically eagle. This is basically 4.5 par. 3 is very rare. Double bogey. I feel like that is more common than it looks. Okay. Now we have hole 11, which I think they're going to the new pin, which is straight ahead. The FPO pin is like the old one down to the right. You'll probably see it in a second. Super easy. Now, by the way, I just want to point this out. When I threw my shot, I don't know why. This is like a hole where you should throw putter or mid-range. I know that sounds odd, but you can just throw low and straight and just anything that goes straight. Backhand flex is kind of like the temptation. I went for backhand flex, and the wind lifted my disc up in front of this tree, way down into this rough that goes downhill. I was in thorns, and I threw it out like a sidearm putter, like a tomahawk, and it somehow went in for 2. So I was the only 2 on the card, and I was probably like 80 feet away in the rough. So this hole is not all that hard, but I think the angle makes it super hard. You got to throw downhill, but it can't be a flippy disc. It can't be too stable. Stable mid-range is what I assume they're going to throw. So he's throwing the flippy FD3. He's going for more of that flex play, which I think is fine. Oh my gosh. This must be like his favorite disc. So I don't think this hole is all that hard. But to actually get the line that Niklas got it on, you actually have to throw pretty hard. But at the same time, or just driven like that. So it's pretty tight too. That's the thing. You would think like, oh, this isn't too hard, but it's actually pretty tight. So it's not like you just have all the room in the world. Sagara. I didn't know it was a -1. So Paul is throwing like baby flex is 2 turned over, but it's nice and safe. I think if you get to the FPO basket, you still have a putt. I'm surprised more people don't throw sidearm. They're all tempted to do backhand, but of course most of these guys are backhand dominant. Now Calvin, I expect this to be like the easiest hole for him. Yeah, that's crazy. And also, I'm surprised most of them didn't just go mid-range. You can throw it high and straight. You don't have to throw low and driven. I feel like most of them, like Paul, he threw low and driven, but the disc was too touchy. He didn't throw something he could just throw hard. It had to be the right angle and everything. Okay, let's skip ahead. You know Gannon takes a 3 unless they have a crazy throw-in. Nicholas. Oh my gosh. Okay. Nicholas is... I mean, he's not off. That was wind. But this is like, you have to make that. Okay, that was like a scary putt. A little bit harder than it looked like there. Yeah, hole 15, I can't wait to talk about that one. But now we're going on to hole 12, eventually, after all these ads. Okay, hole 12, what pin are they playing to? Okay, this one... Here, I'm going to back up. Okay, this hole isn't all that hard, distance-wise. Distance-wise, I think a lot of people, even you watching it right now, can hit it. The problem is... The shot that's really good is like a backhand hyzer that goes high and then just kind of finishes up near the top, and you'll be like 40 feet. If you throw it really hard or you have one that flips up, you might get closer. But this opening where my mouse is actually really, really tight. It's really easy to go too early, or like me, I threw really good, but it was just too far. It's actually really easy to throw too far straight. So this one is a lot trickier than it looks. It's really tight right here. You might be able to kind of tell now, but it's really easy for a disc not to get through. So even if it's a flip up, hyzer, backhand, it's really easy to miss. You got to throw like a spike hyzer or the flip up one, but it's like very early. So I'm curious to see how well they do. I think maybe it's more grown in than it's ever been, and that could be why. It seems harder than it's ever been. So Calvin, he threw the perfect shot. Okay, so... Oh, even the perfect shot gets hit, but, like, that was really good. He threw it inside, and then it was too far. It's not all that like, sure, it's very uphill. It probably plays, like, 400. So that gives you an idea of, like, yes, it's a hard hole, but it's probably one of the more reachable ones. I don't think I see this one two'd very often or pretty much ever, but it's definitely one that's doable. So Nicholas had a really good shot, but it ended up pretty short. The angle to actually get it there is, like, what Calvin threw. But then you somehow have to not hit that stuff. You have to go far enough and it has to be flat. Or it has to be spike hyzer. That's what I did. It's just like that. It's so easy to throw way too far. And actually, he got kind of lucky. Wow, that's a putt.
Mark the other position.
Wait, that's actually crazy. That's really lucky. That's not what he wanted to do. But it's very touchy. It's very tight. It's very touchy. And it might not seem like that when you're watching on film. So Paul, he messed it up too. You don't even have to watch it. Yeah, and all of them actually had a really good result. Nicholas had, like, the most intentional good drive out of all of them, but he's the farthest away. Well, he's probably 75, 80 feet.
Kind of a
Oh, and that one was the wind. I thought he was in. Okay, here goes Calvin. He's so focused. Look at this.
Okay.
Chocolate covered pretzels.
Calvin just finding a bird.
That's sweet.
Wow. Yeah, this is one of those other holes that I mentioned where it's like you're very tired and you get here and then you're out of breath and okay, let's make the putt. So it's pretty tough. Luckily for them, it's cold and windy. Well, colder. In years past, they did this like a few months prior, and then it's like 90 degrees. Can you imagine 90 degrees and you walk up this steep hill? You got to make like a very specific uphill putt with enough power on it. It's gonna be hard. Like, mentally, it's gonna be hard. Rather than, like, besides being nervous or maybe you're like, oh, am I gonna make it or not? Like, you have to somehow lock in. Okay, so only one birdie here. Yeah, this is, even though it's very reachable, it's not easy. It's so grown in that the fairway's pinched off. Okay, hole 13. I think this is probably the most gettable hole on the whole course.
Might be good.
Or it's in the top 3, rather. I was saying maybe hole 6 or 7. The 677 with the OB left and right is probably one of the easiest birdies. This is probably one of the easier par 3s. There's not much danger. Most of them are going to get a 2. I think it's like your card is going to be 75% 2 here. Now he's going backhand. And this is... Okay, to throw this shot is absolutely crazy. I'm not saying it's impossible.
All you got to do is get it to the left tree.
But to be able to throw it that good with the perfect angle, not turning it over too much. I think this one's perfect, by the way. Maybe I spoke too soon. But to not turn it over too much, and it's like a sidearm down to the green, like that is like that's the Pro Tour shot. You will not see anybody, you won't know anybody in person who throws it that good backhand. I've seen many backhands. None of them are like this. I think backhand could be a good shot because obviously you just have a disc that's turning over the whole time. Most people are going to throw sidearm and have a skip. The problem with the skip is that it's probably going to go too right early. You might have a putt, but it's going to be like kind of long. It's hard to actually get one down to the green. Now, unless you get a reverse skip. So Niklas throwing the sidearm, this is bad. It's too early. But sidearm, it's still like a chance. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's 100% of a make every single time, but 60 feet, putting downhill, there's no OB danger. I mean, actually, maybe there's OB left of the... I don't know. Might be behind the basket or something. I don't think so. This one looks better, but maybe it's too far. So it's not the easiest hole ever. Like I said, it's probably one of the easier ones, though. There's not much danger. All of them so far are putting for 2. Obviously, Calvin's probably the closest. Paul, I think this is looking pretty good. This is looking actually really good. Sadly, he didn't make it all the way through. I think if you can throw Calvin's backhand line, it's probably the best shot you can do. I'm surprised Gannon didn't throw like a backhand turnover. But sidearm is like, yeah, at least 50% of the time I'm going to have a putt for 2. And at least half of that time there, it's going to be really close. Otherwise, you'll be like where Gannon is. I mean, yes, it's not a 2 for sure. Like, look where Niklas is. This is not a 2 for sure, but every once in a while you might make one. Like right now. Oh, how did he miss that? I thought it was in. I think sidearm is very safe. It's very easy to make the corner. I think backhand actually brings danger into the equation, but it's high risk, high reward. All these guys didn't get a 2, but they have a tap in for 3. And I think a good... I mean, I haven't watched really the full other rounds, but based on the scores coming into here, like a -5 through -7 is really good out here for a final score. Or like that's what's keeping people on the lead card, it seems like. So, you know, if you keep that in mind, you don't have to birdie every single hole. Having a good chance at birdie is probably what you want for some of these trickier ones. You don't want to be in danger at all on this course. The last thing you want is a throw that's off the fairway and then you hit a tree when you're off the fairway and then you're putting for bogey. So all these guys did okay on this hole. I expected more birdies, to be honest. Okay, now we've got hole 13. This one, there's OB the whole way left and right. Now it goes way out to the left and way out to the right. But like, imagine you hit one of these trees and you go OB. That would be the worst case scenario. This one's pretty... I mean, okay, it is a distance challenge. I think it's really easy to get a 4. Getting a 3, like parked for 3, is actually a really tough ask. But I think everyone shouldn't get less than a 4 here. There's no reason to go OB on this hole. It's very straightforward. You have tons of room. There's no obstacles besides on the tee. So every one of these players should be way, way up there, and they all throw really far. So there's no reason to go OB. That shot actually wasn't very good from Calvin. He threw it too hard. He tried too much. Like, if you just throw something smooth instead of trying to throw as hard as you can easily get 400 to 450 at this skill level. Niklas throwing a very smooth one. This is, like, see, it's fine. It's probably a little bit more left than he wanted, but all you have to do is not be OB and have a full flight. It doesn't have to be the farthest throw in human history. If you can get all the way to the bottom of the hill, which is probably like 500 or something, this might be all the way to the bottom of the hill. This is super far. Like, if you can throw it this... Actually, that's sort of almost there. But I think those guys, their angles are so good, they might be able to actually get a 3 from there. But yeah, I think the main thing is, don't be upset with a 4 on this one. Like, this is not far enough. But these guys also throw really far, so maybe they can actually get up there. It's pretty crazy. Let's see where Calvin's at. Okay, so from where Calvin's at, this is like... Okay, so also he went a little bit farther than I thought. But like, to get to the top from the short tee, he's only a little bit in front of the short tee. It is like probably a 500 plus foot shot because you got to throw uphill. I'm curious to see where Calvin ends up. Like, can he actually make it all the way? This looks like it's actually making it, which is crazy to me. Okay, so he just got to the top. He has a putt. That's unbelievably far. So these guys throw really far. I would probably be like at the top of the hill at best. Definitely not over it. But I think this is a very easy 4, but the top guys, like these guys, are getting 3s. So Paul, this is OB. He's OB. Actually, I don't know where the OB stops, but I think that's OB. Okay, so the OB eventually ends. So he's far enough straight to get past it. I thought it was all the way up there, but I guess I was wrong. Because they should have it behind the basket, too. I know they don't. Okay, Nicolas, is this going to make it? Okay, so that was like, you know, Nicolas was pretty far up. That's kind of what most players are, like, you know, I could probably do that from where Nicolas was. That's like as best as I can do. That's like best case scenario. It's very hard and very uphill. Like I said, they're probably throwing like 500, 550. So even Gannon here, pretty much at the bottom of the hill, this is not easy. And this could be OB. Never mind. There's no OB to the left. Perfect. Perfect. I'm surprised because there's like a cliff. I'm surprised they don't put OB there just so like caddy or staff can go and get it. And then they take a penalty. Because I think OB for some courses should also be for like safety. Because like why do you want players looking down there? Anyways, a little bit of yapping. Okay, this putt is crazy. This is like if you're a pro tour pro, I expect you to make it. Most of the time. That's crazy for 3. So that's, I think, what you can normally expect. If you're like a normal pro, you'll have a putt like this for 3, best case scenario. It's really hard to actually get up there. So from Nicolas, that was a crazy putt. Now Calvin has to make this for sure. Okay. No question. Calvin obviously is going to make that. Okay. So 75% of the card got that, which is pretty awesome. Okay, hole 15.
Oh, and it's,
do they have
really
a picture?
Good, actually.
So there's OB super early, which is staked off. You can actually see a stake here. And the funny thing is, on this hole 14 is not OB. Hole 14 is not OB. So you can literally have it turn over. You can throw a roller. You can throw a sidearm. The only problem on this hole, other than it being very long, by the way, I got a 4 on this in practice.
Okay.
Small clip of that coming soon. In the qualifier round, I got a 5, but I was on hole 14's fairway. Then I had an amazing shot. Then I had like 2 okay shots, and I got a 5. My other card mates got like a 7 and an 8. Now this one, hopefully they show it. It's very high up there, so a disc can easily take like a bunch of turn. Now Calvin has the right idea. A lot of people I see are going distance driver, trying to actually like smash it. Calvin's throwing fairway, and I think this is the right play because all you have to do is just get out there. And also the fairway has a lot of time, so this is too early. This is bad for Calvin. I mean, unless you throw it far, yeah. That's the trouble. So that's not good. So he's throwing the flippy S-line. Oh, he's throwing his PD. Yeah, this is... It might look like it's too flipped, but there's no OB there. This is fine. If he's on hole 14... Okay, he went too far, though. That might be kind of tricky. He'll probably throw a backhand roller or sidearm from there. We'll have to see where he's at. But basically, that's fine. Where Calvin went is the big mistake. So Gannon is like, I'm throwing distance driver. I'm going to go all the way. Flipped up. Overstable distance driver. This is perfect. I don't think it's easy. This is like ideal. Everyone is paying money to get this shot. If you can get this shot right there every single time, it's probably going to be a 4. So Paul's going Captain's Thrasher, I think, again. It has to flip more. It has to keep flipping. Has to keep flipping. He threw it nose down at least. It's not going to be in the rough. Yeah, that's fine. It's short, but it's fine. Anywhere near that pad is ideal. So Calvin, he might be in danger of a 6. This is not OB, though. So basically, yeah, he's going to go backhand roller. This isn't too bad. I was all the way in the other hole, and I still got a 5. So I imagine Nicolas, he can get a 4 with this. He's throwing a flex? I thought it was going to be a roller. Okay, so he's not going that aggressive. Because that's the thing, they always are going to have like a million spotters. I'm surprised he didn't go roller, but he didn't want to take the risk, I guess, which is fine. So yeah, Paul, super easy shot for Paul here. And that is basically like a free 4. That should not be hard. The only thing is there might be trouble on the putting green. But yeah, Calvin is in big trouble. So he's doing a hero shot. Okay, he got out. That's the big thing. So he's probably going to get a 5 at best. But obviously it's Calvin. It's hard to tell exactly where he is. So he might have a shot. Now, Gannon's trying to get a 3. This is ridiculous. Wait,
Nope.
that's crazy. Okay, you'll never see that.
Wow. These guys.
You will
Hole in one.
never
Just
see
one in the
that.
ground.
You'll never, ever see that. That is actually insanity.
Lack of words.
That is like 550. And not only that, but he turned it over just right, and then it came out. That's like that's just 1 in a million shot. It might not seem like it. It might just seem like, oh, it's just a good shot, but you'll never see something like that. Okay, Calvin laying up for the 5, basically. Unless he throws it in. Okay, Nicolas, this is a hard shot, but he could definitely get it there. It needs to turn more. It needs to keep turning, and it is turning. That's fine. That's a putt for 4. I feel like because they made it par 5, I mean, okay, the tee shot's tricky. After the tee shot, as long as you're not if you're not where Calvin is, you're not way off to the right, it shouldn't be too hard. This should be the freest 4 for Paul here. Okay, pretty close. Okay, we got Calvin here. Now he's obviously going for 5. He has a putter he might be trying to throw in, but yeah, just lay up for 5. That's what happens, but Gannon for 3, this is unusual. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know the stats. That might be the only eagle of the tournament. Okay, I think everyone besides Calvin gets a birdie there. Yep. And then Calvin gets a par. Okay. Hole 16. This one is only moderately tricky because there's OB short. You can see the stakes now. There's stakes here, and there's like a drop zone putt. This one, I don't think is very hard of a hole at all. This might be one of the top 3 easiest. Like, I think hole 13, 16, and then like 6 easiest. And then after that, probably hole 1. This is one that you expect like 75% of the card or more to get a birdie. I don't think OB is really dangerous at all. Also, this hole doesn't really fit the course that much, but also, I'm not the course designer. This is like not, you don't have to throw very hard. They might all be throwing putters. I throw sidearm flex through this left side. I throw very soft. He's throwing mid-range. He's going to go right at it. I feel like as long... Oh, he's flipping it. Is this OB? Oh, it's fine. So that's kind of where the drop zone is. He's short of the drop zone. I feel like for him, that's definitely a makeable putt from where he's at. Drop zone's not for free. But this hole, like, you really shouldn't be messing up. Nicolas is throwing his S-line. Oh, he's throwing a tactic. Okay, they're just all the same color. Yeah, this is, like, it's almost like you're playing different course. All of a sudden, you just throw kind of a flippy shot if you're throwing backhand. You can throw mid-range putter. You can throw fairway. But definitely don't throw a distance driver here unless you're maybe throwing sidearm flex. Or a thumber over the top. I am sure there's some crazy guy out there throwing a over the top. He's throwing fairway. This is a little too much speed. But it's perfect. Yeah, like, I don't think this hole is all that hard. It's probably more nerve-wracking than anything. The actual shot, you don't have to throw very hard. You don't have to be able to throw super far. Angle has to be good, but yeah, Calvin's going to throw straight, stable mid-range, and that's really good. Really good shot. Unlucky. But yeah, none of them are in danger of OB. But the problem is you could go OB on your putt. Like, if you're where Calvin is, you completely airball it, or where Gannon is, you airball it. You could go OB. The basket's downhill, so it's kind of unlikely unless you roll off. Maybe that's why Gannon didn't... I don't know, I said whatever. But yeah, maybe that's why Gannon didn't throw very high, because he thought about that. He's like, I don't want to go OB. This is makeable. Okay, so both of them are like, I don't want to risk it. Also, he had branches in his face. Okay, this is the tap in for Paul. It has to go in. And Nicolas should have mega tap in. Okay, so not the easiest hole, like scoring wise, but I feel like the OB isn't really as dangerous as it looks. Now this hole, 17. Look, they moved the OB a lot farther to the right. It used to be like on this ridge and over, so you have way less room on this fairway, especially second shot. You can't throw something way up here, because if it comes down and over here, it's probably going to be OB. I made the mistake of throwing a sidearm flex, and then it just never came out. And I thought, oh, the OB's over here, but it's actually super far up, so I was OB on my second shot after laying up on the first one. I feel like this is a really hard par 4. I'm curious to see if they get 3. Because the thing is, you can go huge off the tee. You can go huge. They might all go really huge, but you have to make sure you don't go OB. I feel like for them, it's not a big deal. They know something that's going to flip over. This is very flippy. If it comes out at all, perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's not even that bad. That's perfect. So Paul, same thing. He's going to throw something that flips a little bit. Yeah, this is fine. So I think the easiest shot on this hole, some people in the past, people were throwing like sidearm, backhand hyzer over the road, overstable disc. Like that's what Eagle McMahon was doing, I remember. I throw sidearm hard and just make sure it's going to go right. So I'm ending up like short of where Niklas is. And I'm just hoping to get 4 on this hole. I imagine these guys obviously want the 3. Now this is like unusually good. This shot is so good. Everyone ideally like that is, you can get a 3. That's far enough to get a 3. This hole is very far. It might not seem like that, or it might seem like that, but like to let you guys know, this is a very far tee shot to get a 3. Oh my gosh, and it's getting up. This is probably better than Gannon's, or it's close. Wow. Okay, so if you can throw that, obviously maybe you should throw that. Most of us are not going to be able to do that, especially when it's windy. It looks like the wind died down for them, but things change when it's very windy. You can even get to the road. Sometimes you throw a slightly flippy disc and it gets to the road. Paul, he just put a little bit of body English on it to get it to turn. That's so good. Wow. If it was this easy to get a 3, trust me, most people are not getting a 3 on this. Most people are going to go OB. Most people are going to end up short to play safe. I think even from where Niklas is, it's not easy to get a 3 because you have to have the right angle on the disc. And also, it's kind of a weird gap. I think they all get a 3 here. That's fine. From the initial like shot, the camera made it look like it's going to be bad, like it's not going to flip. That just went dead straight. Okay, and now Gannon and Calvin are pretty close. I don't think we even need to question what's going to happen. That looked like it was off, and look how close it is. It looks like, oh, it's going to be left. Calvin's throwing I think a AVR3, DX AVR3, or that's what he was throwing. He had an orange one like that. All tap-ins for 3. This is kind of unusual. Oh, never mind. Paul missed the free putt. That's going to hurt him big time. But all of them made the hole look very easy. Guys, trust me, especially if it's windy at all. That is not an easy shot. It's very easy to take an OB stroke. You can go bogey for sure. But if you throw the perfect backhand... By the way, they all threw perfectly. It's not easy to throw a disc that's going to turn over and come out at the right time. So they all probably threw it like 450, 500 feet of power, but with the perfect angle. So I feel like usually most people who are pro, they can pick one or the other, throw 500 or turn it over. But to throw like one that's flat and then they know is going to turn over and then fight out, that's like the pro tour level. Like for that type of distance. Okay, so this is super far. He's throwing DD3. This is OB. Unless you're very lucky, Niklas. Yeah, so that's the problem. I feel like sidearm, you just play for the old hole. Pretend the old hole is there. This is a hard par 4 to get like a 3 on. This might be one of the hardest to get a birdie. He's throwing roller. That's crazy. So this is like if you're playing the old hole. I think roller is fine. I throw a big sidearm and I try to get like pin high of like the old shot. Wow, he went too far. He's OB. Unless it curled. By the way, I'm surprised all these people are in jackets. This is like warm for like people who are from Michigan. This is like, you know, I can see like Calvin, he's from Florida, but like why is everyone else bundled up? It's weird to me. Oh my, wait, oh, it's a Roadrunner. Okay, this might be a big roller or a big turnover. Oh my god, it's not flippy enough. Wait, is he lucky? No. All of them are trying way too hard, but I feel like at the Pro Tour level, you know that a 3 is what you need. But I don't know. I feel like I'm surprised none of them are throwing sidearm. Okay, finally, Paul, he has brains. Just play for the old hole. Go pin high left of the old hole. I think that is way more feasible. And this is good. I mean, this isn't the farthest shot you'll ever see in your whole life, but you at least are not OB and you have some sort of shot. Now, of course, I'm sure all these guys had amazing shots in their practice rounds and previous rounds here, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be on the lead card. But it's so easy to go OB on this hole. The fairway is really tight, and you can't go far. That's the thing. Niklas or Gannon's was really good. Niklas's was, I mean, actually Niklas had the worst shot, but Gannon's was like really good. Ideally, off the tee, you would have been like yes, but the OB is pretty close. Like you got, it's not like there's natural stuff to make it start turning before that. So if you're gonna really go for that huge shot, you got to really make sure that hey, it's not gonna go straight. So he's flexing it. Not good. I feel like playing for 4 on this hole is not going to be too much of a loss. I feel like most people are not going to get a 3. Paul is way up there. This could be a chance at 3, but like this is like the best possible shot. And what is that? That's like a 50-foot putt? At best. I'm surprised I didn't zoom out to the basket. But yeah, Nicolas throwing for 4 because he went OB. It's not good to go OB. I feel like most of them should just lay off and stop trying to do these crazy shots. Just take your 4. Have a chance at 3 like Paul. Paul is like 50, 60 feet away. I feel like that's the only chance you really have for 3 out here. And from what I've seen, like this is more common. You go OB not once, but twice. And then you're lucky to get like 6. When you could have just got 4. But I'm sure these guys who throw like 550, 600 have the perfect disc in their bag and everything. They're thinking, okay, I can get a 3. This would be a crazy putt for 4. Oh my god, it's not bad. Oh, I thought it was gonna hit the bottom of it. Okay, he was just laying up for 5. Okay, so this would be crazy 3. Come on, Paul. Yeah, like, I feel like... Oh, is he OB? Okay. Yeah, this whole... maybe they made it a little bit harder, because that OB seems really tight. But yeah, I feel like the mistake is what all these guys pretty much did besides Paul is, like, just try to go way too huge. Like, Gannon was the best out of the bunch after that, and he took a 5. Calvin putting for 6, and he still has to putt. I feel like just do not do that. Throw a 350 sidearm that's high. That's all you have to do. Or throw a backhand that isn't all that crazy. I think Nicolas had the right idea, but like the angle's hard. Like okay, I think that's the first time we saw like a big angle mistake was from Nicolas right now. Out of this whole round. This is really hard to get good angles on it. By the way, I'm just gonna put this out to the side for a second. Alrighty. Yeah. So 18 is probably one of the hardest. I think hole 10 is probably the hardest. But guys, absolutely ridiculous round. Wait, is it gonna show like their final score? Okay, wait. Round score. Paul Macbeth -5, Calvin -6, Gannon Burr -8, Antilla -8. Absolutely wild scores. By the way, Ricky Wysocki got a -12. Some of these scores are crazy. I think -5 is like, if you were to ever shoot -5, you'd be like, oh my god, unreal. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.